Alrighty, here we are for our A&H Games Skirmish event. This was held on the 27th of February. This is our first Skirmish event that we played, and we are first round, we are up against Bravo. So we are playing a budget Bravo deck. We have no real big equipment. We do have some Crippling Crushes and those sorts of things, but outside of that, playing a pretty budget build. No super rares or anything like that. Couple Majestics with the Crippling Crushes. All right, so we won the die roll. We are choosing to play first, so we're going to go ahead and start off with a pitch. Looks like we were thinking about pitching a Staunch Response. We have a little bit of a moment where we're not sure if we want to, but we go ahead and pitch it anyway. So we come in with a red Crush Confidence for 7. Opponent is thinking about it. All right, they're going to skip normal defense and go right into the defense reaction stage. So then we'll do that a couple times during the game. It's just easier to do that kind of skip. So he's going to go ahead and skip, play a blue unmovable, going in for a block for 5. So theoretically, they're going to hit by 2. So 2 floating from their resources, so they pitch for 5. We go ahead and pitch a Debilitate, overpaying by 1 for a blue Pummel. So it's coming in for a total of 9. They're blocking a total of 5 right now. They got 2 available, and they are thinking about it. So no extra blockage. All right, so they're going to take a total of 4 and get crushed. And the crush, actually, the Pummel says they have to discard, so they get to discard their Blessing of Deliverance. They do get to draw up because it's the first turn, but we got them pummeled anyways. Now, theoretically, they are crushed. They got hit for 4, so they cannot activate their Bravo ability next turn if they needed to. All right, so we both draw up to 4, as is the normal first turn of the game, and they take their turn. All right, opponent is going to play a blue Blessing of Deliverance. They are going to pay for it with a blue Debilitate. So they do play, have a cost 3 or greater in the pitch zone, so they will go ahead and draw a card because of that cost. And 1 left resource. Going to go ahead and Tectonic Plating to make a Seismic Surge token. So that's the token that allows you to have next action phase, destroy it, and it's basically 1 resource less to play anything like that. So, all right, they then go ahead and pitch a blue Cartilage Crush to swing with Anathos. That is 6. They have 2 6+ cost cards. Sorry, 3+ cost cards in the pitch zone. So swinging in for 6. So we go ahead and pitch a blue Disable for a blue Unmovable. So we're blocking for 5. We, again, skip through the defense, right to defense reaction. So we're going to be taking 1, and opponent has no other damage modifiers, but they go ahead and play a Sigil of Solace red at the end of their turn, and so they will go ahead and go back up to 19, and then they arsenal their last card. We have 1 card in hand. We go ahead and arsenal that, pass the turn, and draw up to 4 cards. They have no responses, so we go ahead and draw and pass the turn to them. They pop their Seismic Surge and their Blessing of Deliverance, so they reveal the top card because it is just the blue Blessing. It is an unmovable, so it has cost 3. So they will go ahead and gain a life, and they go back up to 20. Put that back on the top of the deck, and then their Seismic Surge token will Explodey Boy, which gives them a free research for a Guardian attack action card. So they go ahead and think about what they're going to do. They lead off with a activation of Bravo. They are going to pitch a yellow Debilitate to pay for that. So that is Bravo's ability gives a dominate to your next, or I think it's all attacks that turn. So then they are thinking about what they want to do. They go to make another Seismic Surge token with the Tectonic Plating. They pitch a blue Towering Titan, spend one of those on there. So now they have 2 resources left. However, they have the discount. Blue Debilitate comes in, costs 3, but the Seismic Surge make it cost 2, and they have 2. And there is still 2 floating. So that comes in for 6 with Dominate. And the Debilitate Crush is, and that is, it's the first attack on my turn would be -1. So Dominate is coming in for 6. All right, so I choose to block from hand with Blessing of Deliverance. So that is blocking for 3 of the total 6, so that is halfway. And then I'm contemplating, they have 2 floating, they may have a pummel, but then I choose to add 2 pieces of equipment there, so Iron Rot Legs and the Helmweisen Peak, to make it a total of 5. So I will take 1. They have no reactions. I have no reactions. They arsenal their last card, draw up, and pass the turn. But I also have a red sigil in hand, and go ahead and play that at the end of their turn, going up to 21. All right, so he draws up. And for my turn, I actually pitch a red drone and red Blessing of Deliverance to basically just activate Bravo. The two red cards in my hand aren't doing any good for me right now, so I pitch those away and just try to redraw into something good, because it sucks when you get stuck with red in your hand for Bravo. All right, so opponent starts their turn by blowing up their Seismic Surge token, so 1 less cost for their next Guardian attack action. All right, so opponent activates Bravo, pitching a blue Choke Slam. So that costs 2, so they have 1 floating. They go ahead and from Arsenal play a yellow Disable. So they have 1 floating, costs 1 less because of the Seismic Surge. So a total of 5 down to 3 extra pitch from the Towering Titan for a total of 4 pitched, and then the 1 Seismic Surge. So a yellow Disable coming in. They have 2 cards in hand, and it is coming in with Dominate for 8. And the crush effect on this is Arsenal card goes to the bottom of the library. All right, so I actually don't have a defense reaction in Arsenal. I only have 1 in hand, so I cannot defend and play that from hand. So I go ahead and pitch for 3, and it's just go in for 5 and take 3, so I don't end up getting crushed. So that was a lucky save there. They go ahead and play a red sigil at the end of their turn, so they go up to 23, and then they move to end their turn and draw back up. They arsenal a card, or I should say arsenal a card and draw back up, and we throw our pitch to the bottom and go for our turn. All right, so all I am left with is a single card in hand. It's a blue Buckling Blow, which I pitch then to swing in with Anathos for 4. Opponent takes it, no hesitation at all, so I finish my turn, and I'm assuming they're going to have a big crackback because I guess they had the life, but at the same time, they could have done something about that. All right, opponent starts the turn with a yellow Blessing of Deliverance. They pitch a blue Buckling Blow, 1 floating, and then they do get to draw a card because it is a cost of 3 or greater. They go ahead and draw that card. They then pitch, they activate Bravo, pitching a yellow Disable, so they still have 1 floating there. They use the remaining 1 floating to play a Buckling Blow with an additional pitch of a blue Disable. So the Buckling Blow is the one that can put a -1 counter on an equipment an opponent controls if it hits for 4 or more. All right, luckily, because the equipment I have doesn't matter, they don't defend for anything anyways, I don't care about the crush, and I'm pretty sure my hand's pretty good, so I take it, go to 11. Opponent had no cards in hand, so I wasn't really worried about getting too blown out anyways. So they go ahead and end their turn. They draw up, and we begin our turn. So we blow up our Hardened Cross Trap, so we get a cost reduction of 2 resource points on our next attack action card. So we just take the dice there to represent those 2 free resources. All right, so I pitch a blue Crush Confidence for 3. I use 2 of those resources to activate Bravo. Now, essentially, because of the cross rep, I have 3 resources available for attack action cards. So, total of 3. So, I pitch a blue Disable and a red Crippling Crush for a total of 7 pitch. And that generally means when you have 7 pitch that you're going to have a big ol' Crippling Crush coming out of the arsenal in this case. So, dominating, coming in for 11, and the Crush ability says opponent discards 2 cards at random if it hits for 4 or more. All right, opponent decides to block with all of the equipment they have. So 1 from the gloves, 1 from the boots, 2 from the plating, and 1 from the Helm of Eisen's Peak. So that is a total of 5 defense from his equipment. And then he also has a blue unmovable in Arsenal for an extra 6, and that is Exactsies of 11, and we don't deal a single point of damage. And they use a blue Raging Onslaught for pitch. So essentially wiped out all equipment and took 2 cards, but they took 0 points from my biggest, baddest card. All right, I Arsenal my last card, clear off the battlefield, draw back up, and opponent's getting rid of all his stuff, puts his -1 counters on his equipment, throws his pitch to the bottom of the library, and then he goes and starts his turn. The yellow Blessing of Deliverance goes off, so he looks at the top 2, does not get 1 hit, and gets a 2nd hit. So he gains a single life, and then the cards go back on top with Deliverance on the top of the deck. All right, opponent comes in with a red Blessing of Deliverance, pitching a yellow Chokeslam, so exactly what they needed for a pitch. They go ahead and draw a card because Chokeslam is 3 or greater, and they they realize that it was the card they just saw, so it doesn't really help them because it's another Deliverance. All right, opponent pitches 2 yellows, Blessing, Deliverance, and Chokeslam to swing in with the hammer for a total of 6. They have the cost in their pitch pile, so they're coming in for 6. I choose to block with a blue Crush the Weak and a blue Buckling Blow for block for 6 on an attack for 6, and then priorities pass back and forth, and no other things happen, and we finish up. Yeah, I'm just correcting his life total here. I didn't deal the damage the previous turn, so just catching that up. And then he goes ahead, draws a new hand, and it is to me. I then pitch for 3 with a blue Slogism and coming with a Cartilage Crush Red. It's coming in for 7, and this is the one with Crush. Their next action costs 1 more. They choose to block with a blue Buckling Blow as well as a blue Crush Confidence. So they block for 6. They take 1. We finish up. We put our pitch to the bottom and draw our hand. Their Blessing of Deliverance goes off. We're going to go ahead and look at the top 3 cards. We have a blue Unmovable, gains my life. We have a blue Disable, gains my life. And a blue Crush Weak, also gains my life. So they gain 3 life. They go back up to 22. Goes ahead and throws those back on the top of the library in that order, and then continues with his turn. All right, they pitch a blue Crush Confidence to swing in with Anathos for 4. I go ahead and block with a red Pummel and a red Debilitate, and block for 5, so overblock by 1, but they have nothing else, so they go ahead and finish it up. They Arsenal, throw their pitch at the bottom, and draw back up, and pass over to me. I pitch a red Cartilage Crush to smash off my Helm of Eisen's Peak so I can draw basically up to 5 at the end of the turn. So that is destroyed. I have 1 card in hand, and I essentially get to draw 4 cards and pass it over to my opponent. All right, so they begin their turn with a blue debilitate. Go ahead and activate Bravo for dominate. They then go ahead and get a big old crippling crush, pitching for 2 more blues, so total is 7. So crippling crush coming in with dominate, and I pitch a blue crush a week to play a blue unmovable for 5, and I take 6 here. No reactions between either of us, and for some reason, I decided to get all cheaty McCheaty face, and I did not discard 2 cards at random. I forgot, opponent forgot, and it just kind of went on. So we finished the. It's spoiler alert. I lose. So turns finish up. He draws up, and then I go to my turn. All right, so after the cheaty McCheaty turn, I pitch a Showtime and a red crush the week to pay 4 for a red buckling blow, coming in for 8. Opponent pitches blue and plays a yellow unmovable from Arsenal, coming in for 7 because of the +1 modifier on that one. So he takes 1. Goes down to a really, really low 21, and then I finish up my turn, which I should not have had. And again, that doesn't really make a difference in this. Turns wrap up, and then opponent leads with a red Blessing of Deliverance, pitching a yellow unmovable. So goes ahead and draws a card because of the cost on that, and continues his turn. All right, so he pitches a 1 to blow up the Helm of Isen's Peak and draw an extra card at the end of the turn, so he'll drop to 5. He arsenals 1 card, and then he draws 5, and his turn is over. Passes over to me. I pitch a blue Crush Confidence and a blue Cartilage Crush for 6, and I spend 4 of that on a blue Debilitate. So comes in for 6. All right, opponent blocks with a total of 6, so blue Chokeslam and yellow Debilitate. And then I have 2 floating, so I go ahead and play a red Pummel, adding 4 to that. That allows me to crush him, have a -2 on his next attack, and he discards a card from hand. So he goes down to 17 and discards a card, which he forgets, and hey, that's fine. He actually catches it up in a moment, but that's not just yet. All right, so I drew up. He goes ahead and his red triggers, so he's going to reveal the top 3. He has a hit with Towering Titan, a hit with Cartilage Crush, and a hit with Chokeslam. So back up to 20 for him. Those go back on the top in the same order. This is where we realize he forgot to discard a card, and, you know, honestly, we don't really know who. I don't care what he had in his hand. He totally... you know, he was much in the right compared to that. So he discarded a red Debilitate, plays a red Spinal Crush for 5, pitches for 5 exactly, and that basically is the end. So yeah, he the crush is I can't get go again. Essentially, I can only do 1 action next turn. It's coming in for originally 9. However, the Debilitate on my turn makes it come in for 7. All right, so we just got time called on us, so this is turn 0. So I end up blocking with initially 6, and then I'm thinking about it, and I'm at 5, and it's coming in for 7, so that 1 damage might actually make a difference. I go ahead and also throw in a Crush Confidence there for an extra. So block for 9, just to be exactly sure. All right, so that is over. My turn starts turn 1 of the 3 turns, because we went to turns. I have nothing to do. I have 1 card in hand. I will draw up to 4, and I pass it over to him for turn 2. All right, so we realize that with the hand he has, he's got 2 Towering Titans, which he can set up, 1 of those for the following turn. But he doesn't have the ability to get another turn after that, because his is turn 2. I come back for turn 3. No way I can do anything about it, and he can't really do a whole lot to win the game right now, but I give the win to him. There's no way I can deal with this, so I concede to him. Otherwise, we both get a loss. So he picks up a win. I pick up a loss, and that is the end of our first round, first match of the A&H Games Skirmish. And that's all for the video today. I will be posting the other 4 matches of this shortly. Just keep an eye on the YouTube channel. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Cheers.